Forget what you heard. Yeah, boy! Everybody, welcome back to another episode of Forget What You Heard. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Luke.
And on today's episode, we're going to dissect the NFL draft. We're going to mock it. We're going to go over every nook and cranny of this first round at least. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be so much knowledge spread this episode. But before we get into that, I need to hear from the most interesting man this side of the Mississippi River. How you doing, Brother Bear?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk about the NFL draft. Been feeling a little bit under the weather the last few days, but been getting better, taking the vitamin C's, drinking that hot tea, and just getting active. And it's been a brutal last few days, but I'm here and happy to talk sports.
I love talking about sports, man. Let me tell you, it's one of my favorite things. Hence why we have this podcast. But today's a special day, Lou.
Yep.
It's probably Luke's Christmas day. Today is, talking about the first round of the draft. Who goes where, what goes what. What are the plans for the future of this NFL. We've done a lot of research. Luke's probably put in, probably a few more days' work than me. But, we're going to get active and we're going to get after it real quick. How does that sound, Lou Ray Boulay?
Yeah, like you said, most say this is like Christmas Day for me.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's like Thanksgiving, man, because I like to eat. And I tell you what, man, I'm excited. I'm very excited for this draft. We're going to do a mock draft. The first round, 31 picks. Shout out to the Dolphins for losing theirs. But no trades. We didn't involve any trades. Once we get to some teams where we think there might be some trading involved, we will discuss it. And just seeing potential fits, what me and Aaron would do if we were in these positions. But I tell you what, man, it's been a very difficult time putting this together.
Very difficult. Like Luke said, no trades. There's too much politics going on. We're just going to go, with the order we have at this very moment. And, what the team needs, what we think they need, what could, light that little fire underneath them to get them to the next level.
Yes, sir.
Without further ado, the first pick in the NFL draft is the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of swirling around this pick. I mean, I think we all know it's a quarterback going to be taken here. And this is a matter of which quarterback. Do you take the undersized quarterback out of Alabama?
Watch it.
Or do you take the C.J. Stroud with some, rumors that he's difficult to coach? Maybe he doesn't have the strongest arm, but he's built for it. We saw him in the big moments. Very accurate, big size, prototypical quarterback. But I think it's down between those two. I mean, at first we thought Anthony Richardson might be in the mix, but it would be very risky to take him first overall, in my opinion. So between those two, man, what do you see? What do you like?
This has been a whirling dervish of a pick. There's been, but I think, like you said, you narrowed it down to those two.
Yeah.
There were rumors going around that it was going to be C.J. Stroud.
It's possible.
You gave into it, man. You gave into it a little bit ago. We got you snapped your head back out because this pick is going to be Bryce Young. Notice I didn't say undersized. I said Bryce Young, the quarterback for Alabama. Potentially a generational face of the franchise kind of guy, in my opinion. I am not going to hesitate to take Bryce Young here, Luke. I don't know if you have the same conviction that I have with Bryce Young, Or are you a little hesitant? You kind of regretting that we didn't take C.J. Stroud?
No, I'm taking Bryce Young. If I'm the GM of Carolina, I think Bryce Young is my pick. But how did
Hallelujah.
like me and you? We understand that. I mean, he could be very good, but it's just I'm worried like Carolina might be very interested in Stroud because of his size. Frank Reich likes the bigger quarterbacks. We've seen Josh McCown already talk how very highly of him. But I just think Bryce Young's the can't miss guy at quarterback in this draft. So I think Bryce Young is our pick. Yeah, I like it.
I like it too.
We're comparing him to Drew Brees because of his size, his pocket awareness,
And his skin color.
and he can do the darn thing, man.
All right, let's go to the number 2 pick. This is where things get real interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our hometown Houston Texans.
Flexible.
Flexible, a lot of options here. I think some of their needs, QB, edge rusher, D-line, a lot of needs here. They could go a number of different ways. But for me, I'll just say my opinion first, if that's okay. My pick.
I'd love to hear it.
I've been wavering, man. I've been, going back and forth between C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson.
Okay, wow.
And I can give you a little background if you want to hear my thoughts behind these.
Let it loose, Flo buddy.
So, if the my opinion, I think they pick C.J. Stroud. That's what I'm leaning towards because that's a major need for the Texans. We've seen what Davis Mills has to offer, which isn't much.
Correct.
And I don't see them playing that future game and not drafting C.J. Stroud and then waiting for Caleb Williams next year. I see them taking the talented potential number 1 pick, has the talent. Ohio State has a resume. Skipping on him and waiting for Caleb Williams. I see them taking that chance with C.J. Stroud and have him be the face of the franchise moving forward.
What would you do at 2 if you're the Texans?
I'm taking C.J. Stroud.
You would do it?
Yes. I don't want to be that team that tries to overthink it and plan for the future. The time is now. C.J. Stroud is a very talented guy. What is his ceiling? I do not know. I think his floor is pretty high. I just think don't get cute with it. Take the second best quarterback, maybe some think is the best quarterback in the draft, and move along.
I respect it, man. I do. I think that's how most people are thinking. I think that Texans fans probably think the same thing. Like, get a quarterback. Like, what are y'all doing? Davis Mills cannot have another season. If I'm the Texans here, and my first option would be to trade down if Bryce Young's off the board. If Bryce Young's going number 1, I'm looking to move out of this spot. Get more picks. You have more needs. Don't reach for a Will Levis. Don't reach for someone that you're not sold on. But since we're not doing trades here, I'm taking Will Anderson. I think the Texans are flexible enough with the draft capital this year and next year to get a quarterback that you believe in. And, land the top edge rusher in the draft, one of your biggest needs. You don't have any pressure outside. Will Anderson has been even since the last draft, it was like, Will Anderson is the top edge rusher for the last 2 years. Go ahead and get him. And I don't want to take Aaron's credit, but he did mention DeMeco Ryans went to Alabama as well as Will Anderson. So there's a connection there between Saban. I'm sure they've had plenty of talks. And, for me, I've always been known as the guy to build up the roster, build up the team, the trenches, and go from there. Because if you're not sold on Stroud, get the best player available, build up a roster. So let's say this, right? Everyone thinks they're going to have to wait till next year, play the Caleb Williams game. I don't think that's necessarily the case. You kill this draft. Maybe you draft a late-round quarterback. And next offseason, maybe Herbert doesn't get an extension or, there's a quarterback comes available. be a trade, and you have capital, you have the cap space. Your roster looks good after these last two drafts, and all you're missing is that quarterback. And you go out and you trade for one, you draft one next year, and your roster looks really good because your last two drafts you've attacked all the other positional needs.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, and that's the reason I've been flip-flopping. I love the D'Amico Ryans, Will Anderson. I think Will Anderson's a high motor guy.
Yes.
I think he's a class act too. I think he's a team, a team player, incredible athlete. Like I would not be mad at the Texans for doing that.
Me neither.
But there's just a lot of unknown factors with.
It's just your quarterback.
Quarterback is the most.
You're not going to complain about getting the best edge rusher in the class. You're not going. The biggest knock on Will Anderson is that he's 250 pounds rather than 270. So, like, if your biggest knock is that he's not 270, but he's a freak at everything else, it's not like it's a busted pick. Like, you're picking, if not number one, the number two overall player in the class. So, like, yeah, you can be mad that, oh, we have to go with Davis Mills or Case Keenum or a Hendon Hooker or something like that, but your roster is going to look better. Instead of taking Stroud, you still need edge, you still need corner, you still need whatever.
I think the Will Anderson pick is the safer pick.
I agree 100%. You said CJ floor has a relatively high floor, but, like, what is that? Like, is his floor like the 20th? Like, he's going to be better, in my opinion, out of the gate than, like, the Darnolds, Baker.
But he's not going to, like, you're not going to plug him in and he's going to, like, make the Texans a winning team. He's going
to be Jared Goff.
They're very much in the beginning stages of rebuilding, and I wouldn't mind having Will Anderson as, like, a centerpiece of that.
So what?
But it's like,
so say, like, his best outcome, right? So hypothetically, he turns out to be a Jared Goff. So you took the second pick. Oh, we need to get a quarterback. We took Stroud. He ended up to be, a Jared Goff type of player, and you miss out on a guy who's going to get you 10 to 15 sacks a year for the next 6 to 10 years. You know what I mean?
What if C.J. Stroud is Joe Burrow?
Yeah, but what are the chances of that?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of unknowns, but I think that Will Anderson is the safer pick.
Yeah, I would pick Will Anderson. If I stuck and pick and Bryce Young's off the board, it's Will Anderson.
But as the
if you're a Texans fan, I don't care.
If I'm the Texans GM, I need to put fans in the seats, man, and C.J. Stroud's going to be the one to give, like, the hype for the season will be so much higher with C.J. Stroud knowing nothing what he's capable of than Will Anderson.
Yeah, but how important is it to you to look at the future as well, to build the right roster, to build a team that's going to compete in 2026, 2025? You know what I mean? I look at it in a different light. Like, because even if they take Will Anderson, too, they can still screw up the rest of the draft. So I would still be kind of concerned. But if, in hindsight, like, after the draft, I look back, they took Will Anderson, too, and then they smashed on their picks, I'd be like, they got an A+.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about how they draft from, going forward from this, how they build.
Right.
So, I don't think either of our picks are necessarily, like, wrong or anything.
No, they're absolutely not wrong.
But, we have differing opinions, and I think a lot of people are on one side of the fence or the other.
They want a quarterback.
Yeah. I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Like, if I was a diehard Texans fan, I'd be leaning, I want a new face of the franchise. I'm tired of Davis Mills.
I want Bryce Young, and that's it.
I mean, I guess that's a possibility if they take C.J. Stroud.
Stroud could go
That's
one.
Immediate. I'm sending that letter to Roger Goodell in, like, 5 seconds after that happens.
100%.
And having him go out there before the time goes up.
I agree.
All right, let's go to the third pick in the NFL draft, the Arizona Cardinals.
Cardinals, what are they doing, Bugs? They have a lot of needs, too.
They have a lot of they need a defensive line, edge rusher. Luke, I've been thinking about this.
Okay, I'm interested.
What if they went out and drafted Bijan Robinson?
At 3?
At 3.
It'd be a mistake.
Why?
Too many needs. I think, I know we mentioned this, but I think if the Cardinals stick and pick, it's a mistake. The Cardinals don't trade this pick. They
need draft capital.
They have to trade number 3.
They need too much to even. It's kind of like a dumpster fire over there in Phoenix.
It's ugly.
It's disturbed.
Their owner kind of screwed up. Their GM's messed up.
DeAndre Hopkins is good as gone.
Their roster's depleted. Buda
Kyler's
Baker's
hurt.
gone.
Baker wants to leave. It's
JJ Watt retired.
just a lot going on, dude.
So I mean, if you really, if they sat there and picked Bijan, I mean, I'm team Bijan. I think he's a top 3 talent in the entire draft. I truly believe that. But at the Cardinals, just to go and take a running back at 3,
It makes sense.
it
They
makes
need
sense.
something,
It
dude.
makes sense if you're taking literally best player available, but for like positional scarcity, it's a horrible, horrible pick.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought it would be cool if they did that.
Like running back should be the least of the Cardinals' worries right now.
It is a need.
You
but
don't-
probably their least
You don't
needed
have
thing.
an edge. You could use a corner.
I mean, they could. I mean, I have. I mean, if Will Anderson's there, I think that's an easy pick. And Tyree Wilson, defensive end for
That's a name that's climbing.
Texas Tech. Yeah, he's been climbing in every mock I've seen. I watched some tape on him. He's got that explosion, get to the quarterback kind of guy.
He does.
He's going to pressure. He's going to be in the face. I don't really trust Texas Tech defense, but the guys that come out of Texas Tech that were, highly touted on defense become really good.
You name a few?
Zach Thomas.
Oh, he went there?
Yeah. And a linebacker.
See, Tyree Wilson's interesting to me because he reminds me of, like, Trevon Walker. And, like, no, we thought he was going, like, 9 for the longest. And then, like, a week before the draft, it was like, oh, he's going number 1 or 2. He ended up going number 1, which is crazy. And it's, like, kind of the same with Tyree because at first he was, like, a guy that was going to, like, the Bears or Atlanta at 9 and 8. And then now it's like he's not getting past Seattle. And so, like, it's very interesting the way he is. But he's very athletic. He just didn't – I think he only had, like, 7 sacks, 8 sacks.
Yeah.
So he wasn't able to
his
get –
stats don't pop off. It's like his actual tape.
he works out with Trevon Walker. I think they're really good friends. They're very similar. So it's all a matter of – he's more of a projection. It's like, oh, he could
Project,
be –
maybe.
he could be something special, but we just hadn't seen it yet. So it's a little bit of risk. I know I've seen some people have him top 5. Some people have him, closer to 15 in terms of, like, best player available type. But I have him going number 3, too. If the Cardinals stay, I think Tyree Wilson is a guy they can gamble on just because they don't really have a direction, so many needs. And if he hits his potential, he could be, up there with Will Anderson.
Yeah, I think they have to swing for the fence.
100%.
And I think that's what this pick is like this guy could be, phenomenal. An all-pro, a sack leader, or he could be, never learn,
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what you have to do at this position if the Cardinals do not trade. But I agree with you. I think you got to trade, move back, get as much as you can back, and try to fill all those holes.
Fill some needs.
Defense. I mean, gosh, they do need a running back. They'll take a late round one.
I like Jahmyr Gibbs in the second. I'd be all right with that.
That'd be cool.
But if it was me, too, I think Jalen Carter, in my opinion, is the best player in the draft. I just don't.
Let it hang.
I just don't like Arizona as a landing spot because he's got a lot of off-field stuff in Arizona. Doesn't seem like a very good organization right now with everything going on.
Probably the worst.
They might be the worst organization, so I wouldn't like Jalen Carter. That's not a good landing spot for him as to why I didn't take him at 3.
Yes, let's go to number 4, the Indianapolis Colts.
Shane Steichen.
They have a big hole to fill.
They did.
The quarterback. And I think...
You don't like Gardner?
I mean, he could very well be a good bridge quarterback for who I think they should draft.
Where's he going, boys? Where's he going?
Anthony Richardson, quarterback from Florida, who destroyed the scouting combine, who has an arm like a velvet 1968 Chevy Impala, dude. Smooth. Not accurate.
I can smell that analogy.
But this is my little asterisk next to Anthony Richardson. Not a day one starter by any means necessary. That's why I even like him with like the Seahawks or the Raiders, so he can sit behind for a couple years.
Detroit.
He's still, what is he, 21, 22?
Oh, he's a little young boy.
Yeah, like he can't be a day one starter. He's got to be able to sit behind someone that's willing to teach him.
Maybe 2 years.
Yeah, 1 or 2 years. Gardner might be that guy. I just think you gotta. The talent's there. It's just putting it all together for the Colts, and I think that's just mouth-watering. Just seeing this guy, what he's capable of, and I just think he doesn't get past the first 10 picks.
You don't think so?
No.
There's not a chance.
Especially after seeing what Jalen Hurts was able to become. I think that has helped Anthony Richardson's stock a lot.
Why Jalen Hurts though?
I don't think he wasn't a day one starter, and look what he's become. He's the MVP of the league, the highest paid quarterback in the league. I think he's what scouting GMs are looking at for Anthony Richardson to become.
What about Josh Allen?
Josh Allen? Too, yeah, exactly.
I love Anthony Richardson. It's just I'm a little worried about him. I think 4 is a good spot. I mean, if he can sit, that he's gonna have to sit. I think it's fine. I think the Colts are a good spot. But for me, since C.J. Stroud's here for me on the board for the Colts, that's a no-brainer. I think with Shane Steichen there now, like you said, you brought up Jalen Hurts. He's gonna want like a high efficiency. Stroud's a really good pocket passer, 6'3", missing link. C.J. Stroud just seems like he'd fit really well with the Colts. Like he just seemed like a guy who can come in and run the show. He got a pretty good defense. Could use some work on the O-line, but Pittman, guys like that. I think C.J. Stroud would be a great pick for the Colts at 4. And then just, Steichen, the Shane Steichen era begins. You got Stroud.
Yeah, I have 2 picks for every team, basically. Like, if there was a scenario where Will Anderson was picked, and I also have C.J. Stroud to the Colts. If that scenario were to play out, if he's there, he's going to get picked. So, it's a quarterback.
So, yeah, what you're saying is, like, it's going to be a quarterback.
Yeah, it just depends. I think C.J. Stroud would be more of a plug-and-play quarterback. I think it would be a competition.
Is there a chance that they take like a Tyree Wilson or a Jalen Carter? Nothing like that. You think it's no matter what they're taking whoever.
I mean,
falls.
that's a glaring need for the Colts is quarterback.
Yeah, I agree.
On to number 5, the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay. What do you got?
Yeah, I must have confused this one. It looks like their needs are like edge, safety, linebacker, D-line. Who do you have the Seahawks picking?
Jalen Carter's here at 5. He's the pick. If Jalen Carter's not here at 5, they're trading down, in my opinion. If you're asking me. And I came up with a scenario already. If the Seahawks do end up trading down, I think the team that trades up is the Washington Commanders. Washington Commanders trade up to 5, and they draft Anthony Richardson. And they do that. They got a new owner, the team owner. Dan Snyder's gone. They got to start a new era. Why not do that with a new franchise, a young star potentially? And Ron Rivera finds his new Cam Newton, and Anthony Richardson runs it in there with Washington. I think it's a great spot for them to trade up and snag someone like that. New era, Ron Rivera gets his Cam Newton, and Seattle moves down. We're not doing trades, so I have Seattle sticking and picking, taking Jalen Carter, best player in the draft. Great organization to go to with someone with off-the-field issues. And they'll get the most out of them, and they could really use a presence and a force up the middle like Jalen Carter.
Yeah, if the Colts like if the Texans don't draft C.J. Stroud and the Colts draft C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson's here at 5, I think this is a great spot for Anthony Richardson
Yeah.
for the Seahawks because they just signed Geno Smith, but like I said, a guy to sit behind.
Mm-hmm.
Who's better to sit behind than Geno Smith? He doesn't know how
A
to
lot.
write. But I like the Jalen Carter one. If he's there, I'd take the best guy available.
Easy.
Jalen Carter, seal up. I know they got Dramont Jones,
Yes.
and just having another guy to put right next to him would be great.
Gosh, he's going to be so good. I don't care what anyone says about Jalen Carter. He's going to be amazing. You guys don't understand.
I just have the red flags about, not necessarily about the misdemeanor or leaving the scene of a crime. It's like he had all those things weighing over him, and he had his pro day, and he was out of shape, and I think that's very unprofessional and a red flag for me. Not necessarily the misdemeanors.
Yeah, off the field stuff, I'm glad he's able to get it out before the NFL. Because, right, he can learn from it early on. Maybe learn not to do that later on in his life. Get his life straightened out and stuff. But it's never, obviously it's never good. But
It makes me question his motor.
yeah, that's
Like an Albert
understandable.
Hainsworth or a Jadeveon Clowney or a Mario Williams.
Yeah,
Where you have all the physical
I
talent, but
understand that.
are you gonna go hard in practice? Are you gonna go hard for your teammates in the game, for your coaches? Are you gonna be coachable? That's the only red flag I have from Jalen Carter, and I think it is reasonable for GMs to have that same thoughts in their mind.
But if for me, when I turned on Jalen Carter film, when I watched him, it wasn't man, he lacks motor. He's chasing after quarterbacks. Yeah, everyone takes plays. I'm sure there's plays where he wasn't trying, but if you put on the film, he tries very hard almost every play that I saw, breaking through.
Yeah, but you probably watched the highlight reel. You don't watch.
He's a menace. He's a menace, man, and he's way too talented to go outside of the top 5, regardless of if he didn't have a great showing at his pro day. Because dude, if you pass on him because you think he's not gonna work hard, and he ends up working hard, you missed out on the best player in the draft, straight up. That's all I'm saying. And Pete Carroll's an easy guy to work for, I believe.
All right, the 6 pick,
Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions. I have them picking Christian Gonzalez,
Okay.
the cornerback from Oregon.
I like it.
They just traded Jeff Okudah.
Correct.
I watched Christian Gonzalez highlights, and I was amazed by his, he's a ball hawk, but also his playing the run. He's very physical. He's got good instincts. And it was the best corner highlights I've seen in a really long time. And I like that he can do a little bit of everything. He ain't scared. He's not going to back down. It was very impressive. And I personally think that Christian Gonzalez is the best corner in this draft.
I like it. I really do. I also have Christian Gonzalez at Detroit at number 6. He's like you mentioned, very physical. He's a playmaker. He looks fluid. This could very easily be Devin Witherspoon, but I think getting one of the top corners in the class would be a great get to go along with what they did in the free agency with Emmanuel Mosley, Gardner Johnson, Cam Sutton, just to throw one of these potential star number 1 corners to go along with it on that back end would be an excellent fill of a need. And I think Christian Gonzalez, Devin Witherspoon's a dog, but Christian Gonzalez has more of I think his upside could be very, 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 very good. Because like you said, he plays everything really well. I've heard a lot about his man-to-man coverage. Can sometimes be a little lackey, but that's something you can work on. And get your Sauce Gardner.
Number 7, The Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay.
I have them picking Devin Witherspoon,
I like it.
the corner from Illinois. Another dog, another, playmaking, physical corner. The Raiders haven't been very good in the secondary for quite some time, and they're looking for, the next man to kind of shore up the backside of that defense.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen a lot of mocks have like an edge, like Tyree Wilson. Like, man, you have Chandler Jones, Max Crosby. I think O-line and secondary is really what you need to address. So I like getting a corner here because it's a little deeper offensive line class. So that's a good get. For me, I have Paris Johnson, the tackle out of Ohio State, going to the Raiders at 7.
That's a good pick.
And I do that because, you have what you need. You have, Jimmy Garoppolo, fine. Josh Jacobs, really good last year. Devontae Adams, Renfro, Jacoby Myers. So offensively, it's really just shoring up the offensive line, getting the best tackle in the class, in my opinion. Just makes too much sense. Like, Paris Johnson is very aggressive with his hands, big guy. And he fits that, Raiders MO, dark side of the moon type of energy.
Sir.
So Paris Johnson.
Yeah, I like that pick. I think if it's not corner, it's going to be offensive line because they've had trouble with their offensive line. They haven't been able to find that tackle, the sure thing tackle.
They tried Alex Leatherwood.
Yeah, and he didn't make it. They've tried a number of different guys.
Since Donald Penn.
Yeah, so that's a great pick, Lou.
Thanks, Boodoo.
And the 8th pick for the Atlanta Falcons, Nolan Smith.
Lock.
The edge from Georgia.
Yeah, I have Nolan Smith going there as well.
I mean, the Falcons, they haven't been able to get pressure on the quarterback in years.
Mm-hmm.
They need that guy to get after the quarterback. They have A.J. Terrell, who's a great corner. They just need someone to get after the quarterback, and I think Nolan Smith. I mean, we saw in his scouting combine, he's got the ability.
He might be the fastest edge rusher I've ever seen, like off the edge.
Just because of his 40 or like on the screen?
In the game.
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
Faster than Von?
Faster than Von Miller. And his 40 was like crazy. Like, I was like, Nolan Smith. Which is crazy, but it makes sense. Because if you go and you put on the tape, you're like, holy cow, this guy has like a rare quickness that you'd ever seen. And I think he's a lock to go top 10. Like, I'm an Eagles fan. I pray that he falls to 10. Because he's like so explosive, so fast. Like Von Miller. He's very similar to Von Miller. If you can get him at, 8, 9, is a crazy get. And he's Georgia.
Yeah,
Atlanta, Georgia.
Hometown boy. I would like that a lot for the Falcons. I think it just makes sense.
Phenomenal. I also think Bijan Robinson could go here.
I would love that.
I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you for mentioning that because he's going to slip somewhere in here, man.
He's a premier back, and Atlanta has a premier future receiver, Drake London, tight end, Kyle Pitts. Get your premier running back for the few years. And Bijan Robinson is more than a premier running back, in my opinion.
He's great. And I hope that, it's just a shame that, a talent this good could potentially fall pretty far, but I don't think he should.
Position scarcity, man. Running back's not a big deal
anymore. It ain't what it
anymore.
used to be, man.
Ain't no Ricky Williams no more.
Yeah, ain't no Shaquan Barkley's no more.
Ain't no Zeke. No one's taking him top 5 anymore, man.
The 9th pick, the Chicago Bears. I have them taking and shoring up the O-line.
Okay.
Paris Johnson, offensive tackle, Ohio State.
Yes.
They have Justin Fields, a quarterback for the future, hence why they traded down.
Okay.
They need to protect him. He doesn't need to be running for his life. Let's see if he can throw the ball around the yard with a little bit of time. And I think Paris Johnson does just that. Now that he has a new little toy in DJ Moore, they're going to be looking to give him some more time. Paris Johnson does that, and I like it for the Bears. Smart pick, Bears.
Oh, the Bears.
Mike Ditka's probably shaving his mustache.
That'd be a terrible scene. I think it's a lock. I think they had to go offensive tackle here. I have Peter Skoronski.
Skronk.
Because Paris Johnson went 7. If he's there at 9, they're taking him. I think Skoronski can do a lot of things. He can fill in a lot. He can play guard. He can play right tackle. Just wherever the Bears can use him anywhere. Why not? Just take an offensive lineman, put him in there, and they'll be better than what they have now. And I mean, they're pretty solid. Elsewhere defense. They drafted a lot of defense last year in last year's class. Didn't really adjust the line like they should have, so they're gonna do it right here.
If Mike Ditka shaved his mustache, he'd look like a woman.
Who's that lady?
All right, and on to the next one.
You're hurt.
The 10th pick, the Philadelphia Eagles. They've got a various amount of riches. They don't really have any weaknesses. It's kind of it's kind of unfair that they have the 10th pick in the NFL draft. But I'm going to have them picking Lucas Van Ness, the end from Iowa.
Urge.
Like I said, they don't really have any glaring weaknesses, but, throwing in, one of the best pass rushers in this draft, adding it to the rotation. The rich get richer, Luke, and it's a shame that it's your team.
All right. Number 10 for the Eagles for me is Devon Witherspoon, corner out of Illinois.
Spoon, man.
He kind of slips down a little bit. Second corner taken off the board so far. And I know people are going to say, oh, they still have Bradbury. They have Darius Slay. Yeah, but did you not understand? Darius Slay almost left. Bradbury almost left.
They're getting older, too.
Older, 1-year deals. It's not that asinine for them to just leave after this year. They wanted to leave already. I believe Witherspoon can be a very, very good player. Aggressive, physical, confident. He's 5'11", 181. Not very big, but he plays bigger than that. And I think, he's a good guy. He can learn behind Slay. He can learn behind Bradbury. One of them are bound to leave next year. One of them are bound to regress next year. And you already have his potential replacement in Devon Witherspoon. Like you said, they don't lack a lot of needs, but the Eagles have been really good of drafting 1 year ahead of when they have these needs. Recently, it's been offensive line, it's been D-line. But eventually, you're going to have to fill those needs, so why not be one step ahead again by getting your replacement at corner for one of those two guys?
Feel the rhythm with your bones, Spoon Man.
You think Jalen Carter has the potential to fall to 10 because of his off-the-field concerns?
I sure do.
You think it's possible?
I think it's possible, but unlikely.
Would that be a scary thing? The Eagles got Jalen Carter, or would it just be like, would you consider that a steal? Or would it not be that scary?
I'm not as high on Jalen Carter as you are.
Oh.
I don't think he's the best player in the draft.
Ouch.
So, I mean, it would be a steal, of course, because he's a projected, top 3 pick, but I don't know. I'm not convinced. The motor, the red flag about the training or pro day, it really is alarming to me, Luke.
History wouldn't tell you that, but is it possible that Bijan Robinson goes to the Eagles at 10?
Dude, that's when I would start to get a little salty. I'm not going to lie to you.
You wouldn't like it?
That's the one team I don't want him to go to.
Why?
Because it's your favorite team, and I love Bijan Robinson. They'd become my favorite team.
Oh, but it would be a good pick.
Amazing.
Yeah, okay. That's all I'm
Bijan
asking.
anywhere. Bijan is universal. Plug and play, put him in, hand him the ball 20 times, it's over.
But, is it possible he goes 10?
Yeah, I think it's possible.
Okay.
I have something for you about that Witherspoon pick.
Sure.
I like to call him Spoon Man, so when I refer to Spoon Man, that's Witherspoon.
And I understand the assignment.
Okay. Is it possible they move Darius Slay to safety and just start?
Yes.
So I think I like your pick better than my Lucas. Now that I've been thinking about it, Lucas Van.
Yeah,
Ness
but you
pick.
had Witherspoon going to the Raiders, I believe.
Yeah, but yeah, I just really like your pick now that I've been sitting on it for a while.
Oh, the Witherspoon one?
Yeah.
I think I like it. I saw it in another mock, and I didn't really feel any type of way, but I've been hearing that he could go to 6 and stuff, and started to do a little bit more research. And
But has Darius Slay played? He's played
it's
safety
a need,
before,
though.
right?
Yeah, Detroit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why don't they just?
I think it's possible. I'm not sure. Maybe they'll draft like a Brian Branch or the Johnson guy out of Texas A&M.
Oh yeah.
So if they miss out on one of those guys, they could. But I still think it's important to get a safety in this draft.
Hashtag great pick.
Thanks, Bubble.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that, man.
All right, let's
Having
go.
a good time out here.
Hey, let's go to the 11th pick.
Oh, the Pooh Titan.
The Tennessee Titans. I have them picking Will Levis, quarterback from Kentucky.
He juiced them, boys.
It's no secret how much animosity and bitterness I have towards Ryan Tannehill. And that era is over, and I think Tennessee knows it too. It's time to turn over a new leaf. Will Levis, is he a savior? Is he a prodigy? He's neither. He's I think he's a project. However, his age, I think he's 24, about to turn 20. He'll be 25 before the season. Correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you. He's nodding his head in agreement.
I think so. Yeah.
But Tannehill's got one more year. I think it's time to. What happened to Malik Willis?
Oh man, he ain't much.
He ain't a quarterback.
He's not quarterbacking.
That's sad. I liked Malik, but I don't know if he's the
True.
answer. You got to bring some new young man in. That's probably better than Malik Willis, and it's
Probably.
Will Levis from Kentucky.
See, the Tennessee is such a terrible spot. Because Mike Vrabel is a really good coach. I'm going to go ahead and say that. He's one of the better coaches, and he masks so many of the needs that this team needs because he's a good coach. Like, they're always going to be relevant. They just have so many needs. Offensive line, quarterback, receiver. They could go edge. Like, there's so many issues here. But shout out Mike Vrabel for doing what he's doing. I have them taking Anthony Richardson at 11, Tennessee. I know there's ties with Florida. I think their GM's from Florida or their QB coach. And they're interested. Remember the rumors of them trying to trade up to 3? And I think that was for Anthony Richardson. So they're going to get him at 11. But how similar is Anthony Richardson and Malik Willis as projects?
See, that's what I was just thinking about. They're very similar, and being projects. I just think that Anthony Richardson has a higher ceiling.
He has more.
More to work
Tools.
with.
Yeah.
Malik went to Liberty. At least Anthony Richardson actually played in the SEC. He was okay, better competition. The ceiling's higher. For
I guess if you
Anthony
believed
Richardson.
in Anthony Richardson and like, oh no, we can work with him, we can get him right.
But he could sit behind Ryan Tannehill for that year.
Yeah. But if I'm Tennessee, I would be hoping to get rid of Tannehill before the season started this year. Like, try to get out from under him, clean slate, kind of rebuild it. But drafting Anthony Richardson here, you'd have to kind of rock with Tannehill for another year, just run it back, whatever.
Yeah, that's so we both picked quarterback there.
They need offense. I wouldn't be surprised if they took Broderick Jones. I think would be a great pick here.
Yeah, because they lost Taylor Lewan.
Or Skoronski.
They need to. They have a lot of holes too, as you mentioned.
Too many balls.
Oh man, I can't even see straight when I look at this roster.
Yeah, you're looking like crazy.
Especially
eyes.
when the top name is Ryan Tannehill. Anyways, the 12th pick in the NFL draft, the Houston Texans are back on the clock, brother bear.
They sure did.
So there's a number of scenarios here. However, I had the Texans picking C.J. Stroud. So I'm going to have them double dip on the offensive side of the ball.
Oops.
Jackson Smith and Jigba,
They're lining them up again.
the wide receiver from Ohio State. Very talented, smooth route runner, good hands. You know, Ohio State might just be wide receiver you.
Oh.
So why not take a scoop of that pudding and put it on your banana plate?
What about LSU?
I think, especially with the guy they got in storage at Ohio State that's coming up next year.
Who, Marv Harry?
Oh, man, you guys are about to... Woo!
Marv Harry?
He's about to go top 1 next year.
Yeah, I mean, for me, since I had them taking an edge at 2 with Will Anderson, Will Levis is here. Will Levis ain't a first-round quarterback, if you ask me. I'm the GM of the Texans here.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Jackson Smith and Jigba as well.
Did we just become best friends?
I'll tell you what, you got top bunk, I got bottom. Jackson Smith and Jigba, man, just because they lack the talent at receiver, I know they did Robert Woods, they did Noah Brown, they got Nico, they got Mechie coming back. Those are just, regular, your average Joes. You see him at the grocery store, you're like, hey, he plays somewhere, but you don't care that much. So
100%.
you get Jackson Smith, he's nice. He's one of them guys, good looking. You see him at the store, oh, he's a star receiver in the NFL. And that's nice. That's nice to have on your franchise. So you slide him in, he plays slot day one. He's a young man. Put up big numbers at Ohio State. Eventually you find your franchise quarterback to go along with him. Not only that, but it makes, a free agent quarterback, a quarterback you eventually draft to make the landing spot a little more nicer. Yeah, we got this guy, Jackson Smith, Dalton Schultz. We got a good offensive line. That's what I'm talking about.
I love that, man. That was very well said. I think we can both agree that, the current wide receiver core for the Texans isn't going to cut it. They need that extra. They need that little zest.
Yeah, it's like bland. It's like the Patriots offense. They don't have a guy that's just like, they just have regular guys. Dameon Pierce is a regular guy. Yeah, he runs hard, but he's not special. You need Bijan Robinson, Smith and Jigba, Quentin John, like someone who's going to make plays.
Yeah, but it's like having just a regular ice water and you add a little lemon to it.
That's some zest, man.
It's a nice thing. For the 13th pick, the New York Jets, I have them addressing the offensive line.
Gangrene.
I'm going to have them picking Peter Skoranek.
Skoronski's on him, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
Skronk. Out of Northwestern. Those boys up north know how to block. And they ain't blocking for the heck of it. They're blocking for personal pride. And that's why I like Peter.
I like it, man. I think Jets, very few needs as a team. Especially if you go out and you get little Aaron Rodgers. He's probably out there in the tumble hut in the typical Washington Mountains.
Yeah, he's probably on the tumble bus.
But not only do the North have some big offensive linemen, but the dirty South do as well. Broderick Jones out of Georgia. Big freak, 6'5". He's very athletic. He might be a little bit, rawsy, but he's very long, very powerful. And I really like Broderick Jones. Like if I'm a team that needs a tackle in this draft, Broderick Jones is at the top of my list. And they need him next to Mekhi Becton. Put him there at right or left tackle, wherever you need. Sure up, big body Broderick. Jets 13.
Yeah, you said it. He can get a little pudgy around winter.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's what you need. You need him to put on a little 15 pounds when the winter time comes around.
You get that, yeah, man. You get that Meadowland snow. You gotta get thick on
So we both agree they need to address their own line.
Yes, I think that's a great move.
Short up. But they have that one guy coming back. What's his name?
Mekhi Becton.
Dude, he lost some weight.
Yeah, he needs to stay healthy.
He's looking good, man. He's looking like a full-grown Beetlejuice.
You get a little health out of him.
14th pick, the Patriots. You just mentioned his name. I have them taking Broderick Jones from Georgia.
Yeah, big broad. That's what I'm talking about.
Address the trenches. When in doubt, address the trenches. I think Belichick's going to do that. It'd be cool if he took someone like Quentin Johnston, but he's not going to do it ever again.
Yeah. I mean, we mentioned it before, like the Texans, very bland offense. Get a Bajan. Maybe Bajan falls to 14. Quentin Johnston could be a sneaky pick. Just like some explosion on that bland offense. But like you said, the Patriots have a lot of needs, man. They really do. O-line, edge, corner. They lost some corners in free agency. And I have them taking, in my opinion, the most underrated corner. Maybe not underrated. He's flying up boards, but Deontay Banks, cornerback out of Maryland.
Maryland.
Dude, if you put on his tape, he's only 6 foot 197, which isn't that bad. He's pretty compact.
That's a big boy.
But man, he knows where to be in man coverage, man. I tell you what, very athletic, very explosive. You watched him a little bit.
Yeah, I was very impressed with his
He's just good feel for the
his
field.
tape. Yeah, he definitely pops off the screen.
He's nice.
He's an NFL corner. He's ready to play, and someone that Bill Belichick would probably really love to have.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think it's a great move for Billy.
All right, number 15, the Green Bay Packers.
This is another interesting spot.
Yeah, they they have a number of needs. They could always draft a wide receiver, tight end, safety, D-line. They have a number of needs.
Yeah.
However, I'm going to have the Packers address, their rusher, their edge, and I'm going to have them draft Miles Murphy from Clemson.
Yeah, he's an interesting prospect. I really like him. Athletic. But you've seen him go from, 10 to the Eagles to, high second round?
Yeah, even the second round.
I think it's good. Him and Rashawn Gary would be an interesting duo. High motor, very athletic. I like Miles Murphy. I do. I really do. I think he's a good pick. I think Green Bay goes two directions here. If I'm the GM, I think tight end. If you wanted to take, the best tight end in the class, a deep tight end class too. Really good tight end class.
Who's the best tight end in the class?
You got your, if you want your more traditional blocking.
Man, he's the best overall.
I agree. And then you got your, Dalton Kincaid.
Kelsey-like.
Who's more of like a George Kittle or a Zach Ertz move tight end. A little smaller, very athletic. Depends what you're looking at there. So I think, Michael Mayer, Dalton Kincaid are definitely in the trenches here. I also think edge is a big need. I have Lucas Van Ness falling to 15 for Green Bay. I think if he's here,
that would be a. They'd probably really like that if
he seems like a Green Bay, like Wisconsin, blue collar, Iowa guy.
Yeah.
I think if he's here available at 15, I think they snag him up. I think it's a good fit, a big need.
Good fit. I like that.
Thanks, Bubble.
The 16th pick, the Washington Commanders, recently sold by the tyrant of a man named Daniel Snyder.
Yeah, what do you think about that? 6 point what million? 5?
$6.5 billion.
Dude, I would drown in my own sweat if
I would drown in my own urine for that kind of money.
Golly, that's torture, dude.
Just kidding.
Gosh, dang.
The NFL is a better place without Daniel Snyder. He's the Commanders, Washington, D.C. area, stand up and rejoice. The brand's back. No more gross shadow hanging over your head. You're free. And I'm happy for that franchise. I'm happy for the new ownership group.
Bring back the Redskins.
Isn't Magic Johnson in on it?
He is.
Oh, man, he scooped in.
Maybe they can bring back the Redskins, bring back the old uniform logos, get a new stadium.
We ain't bringing back the Redskins, dude. I'm afraid we can't do that.
Stupid, man. These guys are dumb.
No, out of respect for all the Native Americans, I think that name is dead, Luke.
Out of respect for the Native Americans, we should give them a football team and name it the Redskins.
Maybe another name.
Come on, Ron Rivera, get your head out.
Maybe the Karankawa.
I think they were very appreciative of it, and they decided to ruin it, just like all other things.
What about the Washington Scalpers? Because they used to scalp people back in the, early West days.
I'm down with that too, dude.
And it's a picture of a Caucasian male with his head removed.
Gosh dang. I mean, I'm cool with it, dude.
Yeah, I think we owe them something like that,
What about the Karankawas?
What about the Comanche Carandos? The Comanches would have been cool.
Washington Comanche. That's
because it's like
basically what they are.
Commanders, yeah. But anyway, happy for the D.C. area, happy for that team, where
Breath
they're
of fresh
going.
air.
And I say that to say this.
Okay, then.
The shadow and the veil is removed. We need something to put people in the seats. We need a star player. Sam Howell's going to be the new starting quarterback. We've got Scary Terry McLaurin. We've got Jahan Dotson. We got some nice things. But that ain't it. The Washington Commanders with the 16th pick take Bijan Robinson from the University of Texas.
He done did it
I
on him.
refuse to put him later in the draft because that would be criminal.
He done did it again, boys.
Bijan Robinson, 16, Washington Commanders. Here we go, new era.
11-0. He done did it.
13-3, baby.
That's crazy.
You didn't see that one coming, did you?
I didn't. I like it, though. I think Ron Rivera would like that. I think he would love Bijan Robinson. I think everyone would, but...
You remember how much he loved Brian Robinson? Like how much he talked about him and how he...
Oh, yeah.
When he got back, Antonio Gibson became the... Imagine Ron Rivera with Bijan Robinson.
I know.
That's like... I'm talking he's getting 30 carries a game. Brian Robinson ain't seen the field. Antonio Gibson's
I don't
cut.
know about that. Gibson would be gone. He'd get traded, which would be an amazing thing. But it would be, to me, it's like the D'Angelo Williams, Jonathan Stewart, kind of, your heavy hitter, and then your Bijan handling most of the work. But not only that, but, take the pressure off Sam Howell.
You have the fate, like your selling point is
It's
Bijan.
Bijan.
But the thing I don't like about it is that both of their jerseys would say B. Robinson.
Yeah, but one would look a lot better.
Isn't one junior? Brian? Yeah, Brian Robinson Jr.
One would be a lot better than the other.
One's a lot bigger and one's smaller.
One's better.
Hey, Big Brian. Bulletproof Brian, baby.
One's really good. The other one's a mid.
I want to apologize to Brian Robinson.
I don't.
He's not mid.
I want to apologize for absolutely nothing. I lost my draft board, to be completely honest. I don't know what happened to it.
Dude, are you kidding?
I'm not kidding, but I have the Washington Commanders taking Joey Porter Jr.
That was my other name on here.
And it sucks, man, because the Steelers pick one pick after, and I want Joey Porter back on the Steelers. His daddy, Steeler legend. That's just sad.
Let's go. Let's move
But
on.
no, he's a great man-to-man coverage. Ron Rivera thrives, defensive thrives. They lack.
They need cornerbacks.
Length and size in the secondary. Their front seven's really strong. It's just they've always been giving up big plays. And Joey Porter would be a great 1-2 combination with St. Juste, who I think is a good player.
Yeah, I agree. I think I actually have Joey Porter Jr. as my second option on here.
Right, okay.
Because, they need corners bad in D.C.
They sure did.
District of Columbia. 17th pick in the draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They done did it?
And I have them taking Joey Porter Jr.
Yes, thank you.
Cornerback out of Penn State to pair with his daddy, Patrick Peterson. That'd be an interesting, they're both juniors, I believe. No, he's a senior now.
Who?
Patrick Peterson?
He is?
Is he a junior?
What kind of junior?
I don't know. That's just a good pair right there. I think, Patrick Peterson's well past his best days. We've seen his best days, but
what do you expect from the Steel? What do you expect from Kenny Pickett next year?
I'm not
They
sure.
traded for Allen Robinson.
Yeah, they did. If it's not a corner here, it's an offensive lineman. If one of those fall, I think they definitely take an offensive lineman over a corner. That's just me because that offensive line, run blocking was bad, pass protection was bad. They need something.
Yeah, not to mention I have them taking offensive line.
Okay, good. I'm glad. Who do you have?
I have them taking Darnell Wright.
From Tennessee?
Tackle out of Tennessee, man. That dude, I ain't never heard of him before the draft process. Ever since he put a helmet on, man, he's been a collision course, man, with that NFL draft. 5-star prospect, top 5 overall recruit coming out of high school. Man, he kept climbing. Started at 7 games, played 11 as a true freshman, and then became a full-time starter at right tackle in 2020. And
his biography.
I tell you what, man, this Darnell Wright, 6'5", 333 pounds. He's a move, and they need him for Najee, for protection, and Kenny Pickle. And I'll tell you what, it's a good fit because he looks like a good right tackle for the future.
You're the only hen I see.
I'll tell you what, if you say that again, I'm going to get physical.
The 18th pick in the NFL draft, the Detroit Lions are back on the clock.
Corbin.
They could use a tight end, couldn't they?
Detroit
They lost
absolutely could.
TJ Hawkinson. But I'm not going to do it.
Are you going big boy on him?
Yeah, I'm going to shore up their defensive line to pair with Aiden Hutchinson.
You want Will Levis?
Kalaje Cansey.
Okay, Pitt guy.
The defensive tackle from Pitt. Some
Love it.
say
Love it.
Aaron Donald. But I say Aaron Donald not.
Aaron Donald.
Yes. Because I like that pairing to strengthen their defensive line a lot. I would, in a different world, I'd take a tight end here.
What different world would that be in?
One where you don't care about the trenches, Luke. And that's not a world I want to live in.
You got to build them trenches out here, passing, popping off, and be getting to them. Michael Myers, my pick.
What the heck?
To the to the Lions at 18. I think Michael Myers a tight end that leaves NFL scouts salivating. I think he's a man. Dalton Kincaid's been mocked in front of him all these times. The Chargers, the Lions, but he doesn't have that 6'4.5", 255-pound Michael Myers size. In Detroit, yes, they have a great offensive line, but if you add a 6th offensive line, help you block, but also a good of a receiver, as Michael Myers can be, very dangerous pass catcher, very impressive as well. Just adding that 6th offensive line to go with another additional weapon to Jamison Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown, Michael Myers would be an excellent, great replacement for T.J. Hawkinson. You got your new T.J. Hawkinson. Michael Mayer, Detroit.
Excellent.
You like that?
Yeah, I have that actually written down as my other my other option as Michael Mayer. With the 19th pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers address their own line and draft Darnell Wright, as Luke talked in depth about.
Yeah.
They had a lot of trouble last year. They really have to fix that problem, and that's what Darnell Wright does out of Tennessee.
Me gusto. I like that, man. I think they could use edge and O-line. This could be a spot for Will Levis, too, if he slips. Wouldn't be me, though.
They love him.
I wouldn't do it.
They love him.
Okay, then.
Down south, man, they say he's going to be...
You know who I love here?
Baker?
Anton Harrison, tackle out of Oklahoma.
Nice.
Franchise left tackle. You have Tristan Wirfs at your right tackle. The best pass blocking tackle in the class. Oklahoma tackles normally perform very well. Great range, big space, very athletic, and it's a big need. And I like Anton Harrison there.
Anton Harrison seems like one of those guys that rips pants.
I've seen him do it, and I wouldn't dare him to do it again.
Number 20, the Seattle Seahawks. Oops, who do you got him at 20?
Miles Murph, edge out of Clemson. Teaming him up with Jalen Carter. Because, man, can you name their edge rusher?
No.
Bruce Irvin?
Oh, gosh, that guy's a dinosaur.
Get you some Miles Murphy, man. He seems like a great Seattle Seahawk. Him and Jalen Carter for years would be disgusting. You already got good offense. We saw last year Dino Smith did just fine. Need that defense to step up a bit.
I'm going to have the Seahawks taking Quentin Johnston.
Ooh, he just got shang.
Just to,
Wow, I don't think I've seen that. I like that a lot.
yeah.
Switch it up on him.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have it written down, but
Okay, go off the top then, Bubs.
I'm going off the top of the head. Quentin Johnston adds another dynamic pass catcher to the offense. DK on one side, Quentin on the other, and little Tyler Lockett taking down the middle.
Yeah, that's little Hans Doyle right there, baby.
But I don't really have a lot of factoids to back that up. So Quentin Johnston out of TCU, wide receiver.
Murphy.
Or you had Murphy?
Which team are we on?
Seahawks.
Yeah, I did Miles Murphy. At 20. Yeah, I heard.
Hey, number 21, the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, buddy.
I have the Chargers taking Dalton Kincaid out of Utah. Tight end.
Wow.
Everyone's saying Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison. I say nay. I say, why can't you add a weapon with a tight end?
Ooh la la la.
Move over, Gerald Everett. We need a real pass-catching tight end. His name is Dalton Kincaid, who has great hands, great athleticism, and great size for Justin Herbert.
I'd agree with that sentiment, and I also agree with the pick, man, because Dalton Kincaid is my pick as well. He's a move tight end, vertical, down the seam. Gerald Everett, last year, athleticism, good pass catcher. Like I said, he's similar to Zach Ertz. He'd be great in that offense. And you get a guy flying down that seam, down the lane. How many guys are you going to stop out here, man? Because Justin Herbert will find him down the middle, get some motion down the middle.
It seems like they kind of went away from Gerald Everett last year.
Yeah, because he's an average at best.
They were looking elsewhere, and, this guy will really fill that void.
I believe it as well.
Number 22, the Baltimore Ravens. I got them picking Zay Flowers, chalk, wide receiver, Boston College. Never had a good quarterback, always put up big stats.
Zay Flowers, huh?
Yes, sir.
What's his middle name?
Randy.
Pretty good on him. He's pretty good, guys, I'll tell you.
Yeah, Zay Flowers, I think they need to surround their next quarterback with talent. They brought in OBJ.
Their next quarterback.
Rashad, yeah, whether that be Lamar Jackson, whoever else. Tyler Huntley, Pro Bowler. They brought in OBJ. They got Rashad Bateman, Devin Duvernay. What's wrong with throwing in Zay Flowers? You can't use excuse that they didn't try to
What
help.
about Mandrew?
Mandrews, Isaiah Likely.
Hey, they
The
got
list
enough,
goes
man.
on and on, man. You can't say that they didn't try to help out Lamar. You can't say any of this. He's talented, man. Go watch his tape. He's got the best tape I've seen out of all these wide receivers. I'm not even playing with you.
No, he's nice.
No, I'm not playing.
No, I'm not.
Luke,
like
I ain't
it.
playing
Hey,
right now.
Hey. I like him a lot, man. He's shifty and swifty on it. I like it. But for me, recent addition of Odell, Bateman will be back. I'm going to take the biggest need, in my opinion, is another boundary corner outside of Marlon Humphreys. Brandon Stevens ain't going to cut it. That boy won't. I'm going to get Cam Smith, cornerback out of South Carolina. Great recovery speed, good boundary, very athletic. Can play in the boundary, in the slot, whatever you need him. And you just know them. South Carolina with dreads, can't go wrong. Cam Smith, 22.
I like that pick.
Thanks, Pubs.
Because Lord knows the Ravens need a corner as well.
They do. Deontay Banks would be perfect in Baltimore, but he ain't going to be there for me.
Number 23, the Minnesota Vikings select Deontay Banks, cornerback from Maryland. That would be a godsend from the heavens above to the Minnesota Vikings. They need it. They need it.
Man,
They've needed it for a while.
He looked good in that purple and gold, man.
Yeah, they need it, man. I also would think a wide receiver here would be pretty cool for the
That'd be cool,
Vikings because they lost Adam Thielen.
Done did it again.
Or is KJ Osborne ready to go?
He ain't a good number 2 if you ask me, no.
Okay, well, I have him picking Deontay Banks if he's still
I
there.
love it. I like it. I really do. I like Deontay Banks a lot. Another guy I like, though, you mentioned it already.
Ernie Banks.
They need a receiver. They need one bad. Take the pressure off Justin Jefferson. Jordan Addison. He's a guy who could thrive off of Justin Jefferson, take the attention away from him. Jordan Addison isn't great in contested catches, but it wouldn't be that big of a deal with Justin Jefferson on the other side. Get him in a little one-on-one, one of the best route runners in the class. He's going to be open a lot. Something Adam Thielen lacks of his older age in his abilities. Addison has that juice. I think he'd be a great number 2 weapon in the NFL. And I love it. You can put KJ back in his number 3 spot. Jordan Addison can flank, and he's going to flank good on him.
Yeah, I like that pick.
Thanks, Bubs.
I like that. Do you still have Zay Flowers?
He's still on the board.
All right, number 24, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I have them selecting Cam Smith.
Ooh.
Cornerback from South Carolina.
Staying local a little bit, huh?
Yeah, like Jacksonville's got something brewing. It's just time to add assets and young players that know how to play the game.
Yeah, I like it. They need a corner, maybe a safety. I also think they could take like a guard, like a center that we hadn't seen. You have to pick a litter of the best guards or center in the draft right here, which would be a good direction I could see them going just because they don't have too many needs. I think with Brian Branch, safety, potential slot corner for Jacksonville, I think it's just a freak. I mean, he's really good. It's just safety isn't like it's kind of like running back for the defense, kind of plug and play, whatever. But I really like him. I think he's Alabama. I remember watching Alabama on defense. Branch was everywhere. And he's just something they're lacking on the back end, like with you and Cam Smith. I'm going to go with Brian Branch.
Very nice. 25th pick, the New York Giants. I have them selecting Jordan Addison.
Well, that's a home run hitter.
The wide receiver out of USC. They signed Paris Campbell. They have Wan'Dale Robinson. They have Darius Slayton. But it doesn't hurt to add some fuel to the fire, giving Daniel Jones some more weapons to work with. I think, he could be the one. The one that sticks.
Who did that?
Jordan Addison. They don't have that guy that they can trust fully every play. It's going to be open. They don't have that guy. And I think Jordan Addison can be that guy for Daniel Jones.
Okay. I've been seeing a lot of receivers going. I've seen Zay Flowers a ton to the Giants.
I'd like that
I've seen Addison.
I just want them to draft a wide receiver. That's all I want.
I'm looking at one right now that says Jalen Hyatt.
Oh, gosh. The one-trick pony?
The Will Fullerian home run hitter.
Yes, sir. He's a one-trick pony. Mike Wallace.
He's basically a worse version of Quentin Johnston. Why not just take Quentin Johnston?
He's like a taller version of Mike Wallace.
But for me, with Addison off the board here, with Smith and Jigba off the board already, I'm going to turn a different direction. I'm going to take Joe Tippmann, guard/center out of Wisconsin. Land one of the top inferior offensive line prospects in the class for the Giants. Nick Gates, John Feliciano. A bunch of just has-beens, have-nots. We got to get a guy in there. Joe Tippmann is a huge human being. Play guard or center. And you need an interior offensive lineman with Barkley, with Daniel Jones lined up long term. You brought in those receivers. You could go corner here. I originally had Keely Ringo going here at corner, but I like the idea of bringing in Joe Tippmann.
I love Joe Tippmann. That guy is up north, down
Wisconsin
south,
lineman.
dirty. Yeah, he's a slobber knocker. That's slobber knocker you. He knows how to throw around big bodies, and that's what he does best. And I think that would really, really, really help out Daniel Jones and this offense. Saquon as well.
Definitely. They run up the line a lot.
Put him in there and let him block.
It's not the flashy pick that, Giants fans probably like, with seeing them getting mocked
Get bored,
receiver and corner. But he's a guy that's going to help your football team big time. Build up them trenches.
Amen, brother. Amen to that. With the 26th pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Michael Mayer, tight end from Notre Dame,
Ooh, actually, that's kind of juicy.
to fill in for Dalton Schultz. The Cowboys are not going to let this guy pass. If he's still there, they're gonna pick him, and they're gonna love him, 'cause he's a do-it-all kind of guy.
You think they'll love on him?
Blocking, receiving, all the little things in between. That's Michael Mayer. He's not the flashiest, but he gets the job done. Solid pick. Good job, Jerry Jones. Yes, sir.
That would be actually a really crazy fit.
They
It'd be
need it,
crazy.
man.
Like an actual legit good tight end, not Dalton Schultz. And how good they could really be.
Dalton Schultz isn't good.
He's about mid, yeah.
He's on the Texans, ain't he?
But is he better? So what you saying? Dalton Schultz is as good as Michael Mayer?
I think Michael Mayer's better.
Be way better. But let me tell you this, man. I think tight end and D tackle probably the most likely scenario here. I know Bijan Robinson could be a guy. I'm the GM here. I wouldn't do it. So I'm not going to do it. And I'm going to take Kalijah Cansey. Pittsburgh defensive tackle to the Cowboys.
Nice.
Bring more of that pressure on them, man. You got Parsons on the outside. Bring it through the interior. You don't have a really good interior guy. It's been on a very long time. So he's a guy that's going to push the pocket.
What about Neville Gilmore?
He's never good.
That's a great pick. I like
you got DeMarcus Lawrence. You got Cansey in the middle. You got Parsons on the other.
Night.
That's like
spink.
combined. That's got to be like 40 sacks on your head. But we have to see what he can do against the run. Just kind of his lacking thing. But Dan Quinn loves the athleticism. I think Kalijah Cansey would be a very fun player in Dallas.
I agree. I like that pairing with him and Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. It's a great little sandwich.
That'd be cool, man. It would be. I'd be a fan of Cowboys.
The 27th pick in the NFL draft, the Buffalo Bills select Osiris Torrance, offensive lineman, Florida. He had a lot of hype coming in. He looks like he's falling a little bit, but man,
He's falling,
towards the end of the year, a lot of injuries. Josh Allen didn't look comfortable in the pocket, and I think bringing in Torrance would really help and firm up that offensive line for a playoff run.
Dude, Osiris Torrance is a monster. He's awesome.
He's a heavy human.
He's big, dude.
He's a heavy hitter, dude.
Even like his name is just like, that's a guy I'm not going to look at.
Dude, he's knocked out a crash test dummy.
I believe it, dude. Buffalo Bills, for me, I have them taking Zay Flowers, receiver out of Boston College.
The rich get richer.
Zay Flowers, what he's going to do is going to slide right into the slot in between Stephon Diggs and DeAndre Hopkins.
You forgot a name.
Gabe's coming off the bench because that's what he was best at.
If they get DeAndre Hopkins, there might be something going on in this world.
What if you had Hop at the X? On the other side, you had slot Zay Flowers. Z was Stephon Diggs. What are you guys going to do now?
That would be amazing.
What are you guys going to say then?
That would be probably the best wide receiver core in the NFL.
I probably wouldn't bat an eye at that.
That'd be pretty darn impossible to cover.
I believe it as well.
Well, that's a great pick, Luke. Let's move on.
Thank you. I appreciate it, really.
The 28th pick in the draft, the Bengals select Brian Brees.
Ooh.
From Clemson,
They
an
went in
edge rusher to put on the other side of.
He's more of a DT, but
He
I
is?
like it. Yeah, absolutely.
They need that because the other guy, I can't pronounce his name. That's why I didn't say it.
Adam Marie,
Yeah.
the Northwestern.
Yeah, but I think they'd rather have Brees.
Okay.
Would they not?
I'm not arguing. I'm hearing you out.
As a GM, I'd rather have Brees, Clemson.
I'm hearing you out, dude.
I'm tired of having all these Northwestern guys on my team.
I'm going to switch it up here. I think DeJuan Jones was originally my pick to tackle at Ohio State. I have the Bengals at 28 taking Bijan Robinson out of Texas, the running back. I think as a running back, this slid has fallen too far. Teams aren't prioritizing running back anymore. Joe Mixon, prison. Find his replacement. Bijan Robinson is an upgrade over Joe Mixon. And the Bengals might have just darn won the Super Bowl with that pick.
Yeah, hear me out. They gave Joe Mixon the ultimatum, take a pay cut or get cut. Joe Mixon is the type of guy that won't take a pay cut.
Okay.
So he'll be gone. Plug in Bijan Robinson. This team is Super Bowl.
Running back's a need. They lost Pirine to Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Mixon's too busy shooting
Chris
out of his
Evans
house.
is small.
Yeah, what's it? Williams.
Travion Williams?
Yeah, I think he went to A&M, right?
Yeah.
That says all I need to know.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a dream scenario for the Bengals and maybe for the NFL because he'd look so good in stripes.
Yeah, it would be amazing. Like an already contending team gets the best top 5 player in the draft.
They got Jamar Chase and Bijan Robinson. Come on, get out of here.
That's crazy. It's very
Joe
unrealistic.
Shiesty?
I think it's more
T.
realistic for them to go. More realistic for them to go DeJuan Jones or one of the tight ends maybe. They're gonna draft a tight end in this class. I can tell you that right now.
They got Irv Smith.
And I wish I didn't hear it. But DeJuan Jones is probably more realistic. But if Bijan's here and I'm the Bengals, I'm running that up. Probably doing a handstand and handing it to him between my cheeks. You're going to have to grab the card between my cheeks.
Nice, man. That's disturbed in many different levels.
All right, the Saints, man. They're up to bat.
29th pick in the NFL draft, the New Orleans Saints select Maisie Smith.
Ooh, big boys.
Defensive tackle out of Michigan. Great agility for a giant man. They used to call him Sweet Feet Mazee.
That's it. I like it, man. I like Maisie Smith. Maisie Smith. Big.
Mazai.
Had the most bench press. I think it was like almost 40. And he's very athletic. He's a sneaky first rounder. He's scary. He looks scary. You know how like Michigan with like their helmets and their white uniforms, sometimes players can look kind of scary.
Yeah.
He was one of them guys.
Yeah, he looked like he murders Rowe.
I don't know what it is with those uniforms, but some of those guys look very intimidating. And he was one. I like it. That's a great fit for the Saints. The Saints here, I would have had Kalijah Cansey. I think Brian Breesy is a good fit here. They need that D-line. But Dennis Allen, they decided to bring in Derek Carr. His job depends on Derek Carr. So what do you have to do to Derek Carr?
Protect him.
You got to get him some more pieces.
At all cost.
Quentin Johnston, receiver out of TCU, goes to the Saints.
No way.
You got your boy Chris Olave. You got Shaheed. You got
Mike
Mike Thomas. And then you add the speed, Quentin Johnston. Something a little different. Olave's more intermediate. So is Mike Thomas. I know Shaheed is a speedster, but he ain't Quentin Johnston. So let's add Quentin Johnston to this Derek Carr offense. Open it up. Let's get splashy.
Hooray, that was a good pick.
Oh, thanks,
I wasn't expecting that one, but I like that draft pick.
I've been switching it up after like 25.
Because they need a deep threat other than Shaheed, who isn't the biggest guy.
Not very good.
Yeah, but Quentin Johnston to really do the job.
He'll do it.
And Derek Carr has a big arm, dude.
He does.
I don't know what you heard.
Henry Ruggs.
But John Gruden ain't in the NFL no more.
Nah, I think it's interesting.
Henry Ruggs.
After 25, I've kind of been just like throwing it, and it's been fun.
Dude, I've been throwing poop at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Tell you what, if you show me something.
The 30th pick in the NFL draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Brian Branch, safety from Alabama.
I like it. I love it. I really do.
To fill that, what's his name, Chauncey Gardner Johnson?
Chauncey Guards.
to fill that void, and he does a fantastic job in doing that. He falls right into Philly's lap. As I said many times in this podcast, the rich get richer,
Absolutely.
Philly gets filthier.
If Philly gets filthy one more time, I'm going to have to cut it out.
Who do you got them picking?
Who, the Eagles?
Yeah.
I'm thinking Will McDonald. Edge out of Iowa State. I like him. He's very toolsy. I'm going to take Osiris Torrance out of Florida guard. He can play center. He can do it all.
They got Kelsey, man.
They got Kelsey for another season. They got Cam Jurgens. They got Landon Dickerson. But Eagles are really good at, that's Howie Roseman's MO. The trenches.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go Osiris Torrance.
I like that pick.
If it's not Osiris, I like Will McDonald, edge out of Iowa State. I like DeJuan Jones, Ohio State guard. What else could they do out here?
If there was injury, they could always plug and play one of these guys.
They're always one step ahead, yeah. Could see, maybe Brian Breezy. Maybe they go linebacker.
Dexter Lawrence.
Maybe they could do
all right, dude.
Jahmyr Gibbs would be interesting, huh?
That would be really cool, but they already have Rashard Penny.
So what else do you do then?
Dude, you named like 6 different people. What else do you want from the
That's
Philly
good
thing?
enough.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, these Philly guys, they keep going on
Tell
and
these
on
guys to
and on
relax.
and
Tell
on
these guys
and
to
on.
relax. Tell these guys to relax.
These guys don't have any legs. 31st pick in the NFL draft, the Kansas City Andy Reid Chiefs. I have them picking Keon White, the edge from Georgia Tech, big project guy. Played a lot of basketball growing up. Great feet, gained some weight. Now he's an edge rusher.
You got more to him?
Yeah, I mean, Kansas City needs that. Their edge rushers are getting up in age.
Who were they again?
Is Justin Houston, was he on their team?
No.
Who is their edges?
George Karlaftis?
Brian Arakpo? Right, daddy.
Know what he's doing anymore.
They need someone to get to the quarterback.
You don't like BJ Ojolari at LSU?
Yeah, I do like him, actually.
I like him too.
What about Buns Johnson?
I think it's hard. See, they need an edge, but they also need a receiver?
No, they don't.
You're gonna start MVS again?
Yeah?
Really?
Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney,
And
Travis
MVS.
Kelce. Yeah.
Marcus Valdez-Scantling's gonna start next year for the Chiefs.
Maybe sign Josh Gordon.
He ain't playing.
He's playing in the XFL.
He ain't playing.
Don't they have someone else?
Yeah, Justin Watson.
There you go. I don't know why you think the Chiefs need these wide receivers.
No, I'm gonna take Adetamwa out of Barra. Edge out of Northwestern, 6'1", 282, and he ran like a 4.4.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
He was a freak.
He is the 9.72 athletic score, is the highest in the class, I believe. He's a little bit undersized, but high motor. And he's gonna reach new ceilings next year with the Chiefs. He just seems like seems like a Chiefs name. They like the Latambe Halis, stuff like that, So why not get him? Bring him in. Jalen Hyatt.
Jalen Hyatt?
What if he's there? Is that a good pick?
I'd take that over whoever you said before.
Adetamwa?
Who is the wide receiver you're going to pick for him?
BJ Ojolari, I like too.
You're going to give them Jalen Hyatt?
No. Oh, if I was taking receiver?
Yeah.
I had Zay Flowers before, but I had the Bills taking Zay Flowers in this one. Because I do believe there's going to be like 3 or 4 receivers taken in the first round. I do believe it. Maybe 5.
Who's the guy on the Chiefs?
Cedric Tillman could be one.
Who's the guy on the Chiefs?
I think his name's Trav and ends with a Kels.
No, wide receiver. Is it Cardarius?
I think right now it is.
Sky?
They're probably going to ask a lot out of Sky Moore next year.
That's going to be amazing.
I don't think that's a good idea, do you?
He's good.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they need a receiver. So right now the receiving core is MVS, Tony, Sky Moore, Richie James,
Mm-hmm.
Justin Watson, Justin Ross, Amir Smith-Marset.
Justin Ross, the speed merchant?
No, the Clemson guy,
Oh. Who's the other Ross?
John. They have him as well.
Really?
Really.
Dude, they're going to win the championship with
So to me, they like speed. I think Hyatt could 100% go 31.
That'd be the perfect place for Jalen Hyatt.
It's a perfect MVS replacement. I like the same.
MVS has brick hands.
So does Hyatt, but they're fast. It's poop.
So you're getting a younger MVS.
Yeah.
That's fine.
More potential.
I'm not going to poo-poo that pick that you.
It's
Jalen
more
Hyatt.
potential, right? At
Yeah,
a Hyatt
I'm
than
all-
you would at a MVS.
Dude, I'm all in.
I'm just saying. They could do a lot.
Does that wrap it up?
They could also take a tackle, I guess.
You gonna go a few more rounds?
We could talk about some guys. You didn't have no one else you wanted to talk about?
Bryce Wheaton Ford.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
What's his name?
Bryce Ford Wheaton.
Bryce Ford Wheaton. This is my. Hear me out, everyone. He's built for NFL. He's built to put up yards in the NFL. He's built to score in the NFL. He's my sleeper pick for Rookie of the Year.
It's going to be Bajan. But what round are you expecting? Like third, fourth?
He's a day two kind of guy. What is that, third and fourth?
What's a good landing spot for him?
Bills. I want him to go to like a Chiefs would be nice.
Like a contender?
A contender with Herbert. Chargers.
That'd be cool.
He'd be like Mike Williams 2.0. West Virginia wide receiver. What is?
Athletic.
He's amazing. Yeah, go look at him. His
Not as good.
he's better.
Well, he's
What about who's that running back for Illinois? Brown.
Chris Brown,
His first name's not Chris.
isn't it?
Isn't it like Sydney?
You don't like Zach Evans?
Yeah, I do like Zach Evans.
What about Israel Benakanda, running back out of Pittsburgh?
Yes. Yes.
Dude, he had a 9.62 RAS.
That's almost unheard of. I don't even know what that is. RAS?
Didn't he run like a 4.2? 4.3?
Yeah, but he's built like a bowling ball.
5'10", 217. Dude, there's a lot of names I like. Condre Miller, running back out of TCU. 5'11", 215.
Doesn't he have like a mysterious injury?
Probably, but I like him. Roshan Johnson, running back.
Hey, UT, the eyes of Texas are upon you.
Chase Brown, that's his name, Illinois.
You ready?
You like him?
He's the most ready to play.
Let me look at his full scouting report right now.
Yeah, he's about to see some. He's about to see some numbers.
Chase Brown. What do you got, buds?
A lot.
I don't know what happened. Where'd he go?
How many yards? A lot. How many receiving yards? A lot. How many pass block protections? A lot.
Valley, Illinois. 5'11", 205.
Big.
Logged 170 carries, 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. Brown runs with fast feet, energetic style, hits hole with quickness. Carries great speed upfield. Brown is due for another heavy workload. Maybe, hey, if you like him, you like him, dude. That's all I'm
I don't know.
saying.
I just see him all the time.
What about Sean Tucker? Is that the guy you're talking about?
Yeah, who is that?
Syracuse running back?
Not bad.
Another guy I've been listening to, they really like a receiver, is Jonathan Mingo, receiver out of Ole Miss.
I like him too. I remember him.
They say he's the only receiver in like the first few rounds that is actually built to be like a number one. Like he's got the size. He's like Zay Flowers, Addison, Johnston,
What about Butte?
Hyatt. None of them have like the size and stuff, but Mingo's like the only one. 6'1", 220.
What about Boot?
So watch out for Mingo. He go a lot higher than we think.
Boot.
Dude, he stinks. He's not an NFL player.
The LSU guy?
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
He's going to be like day 3.
Yeah, but he's going to be good.
You think he'll be good?
Yeah. Go look at his measurables.
Let's scroll way down here. Hold on.
How far down is Bryce?
Oh, Butte's not that far. 72. He didn't.
No, what is his size?
5'11", 195.
Never mind. Go to Bryce Wheaton.
They say he's athletic. He just doesn't good at football, at receiver.
Can you go to Bryce Wheaton's measurables real quick? I want the people at home to visualize this guy.
I told you. Remember I told you he was the number 1 athletic score?
Yeah.
9.97 is his athletic score. 6'3", 221.
You hear that, folks?
Bryce Ford Wheaton, receiver, West Virginia.
Megatron.
You got him like 131. So what is that? What round is that? 4? 3?
4?
Okay then.
You impressed?
What about DeMarvion Overshawn, linebacker out of Texas?
Yes.
He's alright. 6'2", 230.
The Broncos won him. They visited him.
Long and rangy. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, what's the time?
1:30. Oh, who's winning the NBA Finals?
Thank you. I was waiting for someone to ask.
Why can't you say nothing?
I think that Boston's going to be in the NBA Finals.
What makes you think that?
Giannis is hurt.
So?
Well, let's go series by series.
Yeah, think about it for a minute, bud.
Let's go series by series then.
I'm listening.
What's the 1-8?
And where?
The Timberwolves and Nuggets?
Oh, West?
Yeah.
It is.
Nuggets are going to sweep.
Okay, I believe that.
What's the 2-7? Lakers? Lakers Memphis?
Grizzlies were 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lakers.
You have the Lakers winning?
I think the Lakers have a good shot to make it to the Western Conference Finals.
Guess if Jaw's not going to play, huh?
Yeah. I think it's doubtful.
I don't know. If he's out, I think they can. Lakers have a lot of things that have to go their way.
What's the 6-3?
Suns Clippers, right?
No.
Kings Warriors?
Yes.
Okay.
Kings are going to have to give that one away. Draymond got suspended. I'm going to take the Kings.
So you have the Nuggets beating Timberwolves, Lakers beating Grizzlies, Kings beating Warriors?
Yes.
Okay.
And the Suns beating the Clippers because the Clippers aren't very good.
I disagree, but okay.
Kawhi's excellent, though. On to the East. What's
Okay.
the 1-8? Oh, Hawks. Terrible.
You took the Celtics,
Celtics.
Sixers Nets,
Sixers.
Heat Bucks,
Bucks.
Cavs Knicks.
Cavs.
Okay.
What are we looking at now?
Hold on, let me pull up like a, what is it, tree?
Playoff tree?
What?
Yo, I got the Suns against...
Alright, so Milwaukee. You got Milwaukee versus the. You took the Knicks?
No, I took the Cavs.
Alright, Milwaukee and Cleveland.
Milwaukee.
Okay. Philadelphia or Boston. Ooh.
Boston.
That'll be an amazing one. Denver and Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Kings and Lakers. Sacramento like beat them in the regular season all the time, I think.
Lakers.
Okay.
LeBron James.
Lakers and Suns.
Suns.
So you got the Suns in the finals.
Against the Celtics.
Hold on, we haven't gotten there, dude. Relax for a minute. So you beat Milwaukee over Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Boston over Philadelphia.
Yeah.
What about Milwaukee and Boston?
Boston.
So Boston and Phoenix?
Yeah.
Oh, he's going chalk.
That's not chalk at all. Isn't Phoenix like the 4 seed?
Everyone's taking Phoenix.
Okay, then pick yours. I got Phoenix in 7.
Oh. What if Giannis? What if Giannis misses the rest of the Miami series? Does that matter?
Do I have the Bucks going?
No, but I'm saying like if Giannis doesn't play another game in the series,
They probably will still win.
in like 7 games, or you think they'll just like
6, 7, yeah.
interesting?
I want to change. I want to pick the Kings over the Lakers.
Yeah, that's a better idea.
I love the Kings.
Oh, and I love eating ramen.
Light the bean.
I've got Milwaukee over Miami, Cleveland over New York, Philly over Brooklyn, Boston over Atlanta, just like you.
Copycat.
I've got the Nuggets over Minnesota. I've got the Clippers over the Suns.
Wrong.
I've got Golden State over Sacramento. And I'll take the Lakers over Memphis.
Correct.
I'll take Golden State over the Lakers. I'll take the Clippers over the Nuggets. I'll take Philly over Boston.
That's asinine.
And I'll take... Dang, I'm worried about Cleveland, but I feel like they could beat Milwaukee
So do I.
if they get out of the New York series.
Do it.
I'm going to take Cleveland over Milwaukee.
This one's for you.
I like it. I like what I saw last night. I'll take...
It's the Knicks.
Knicks are a playoff team.
Literally have RJ Barrett.
Knicks are a playoff team. I've got Philadelphia over Cleveland. Philadelphia's going to the finals this year. And I've got the Clippers over Golden State. I got the Sixers over the Clippers. I said that a few days ago. You can ask Aaron. I'm not switching anything up. So
I said the same thing
this
too.
was before the playoffs started. So you're coming at me now. Oh, Golden State. Match. I've been saying this from the beginning. So I'm going to stick to it. Sixers over the Clippers. Harden and Embiid get their first ring. And I'm going to say it's in 6 games.
You better have said 6 games.
6 games. Paul George is going to come back after they beat Phoenix. And they're going to be hard to stop. And I'm just not counting against the most physically dominant player in the NBA. Better than Giannis is Joel Embiid to go along with James Harden. I'm saying all those things about the MVP, and that's not even James Harden. Yet they're on the same team. It's bound to happen. This is the year. Sixers get their ring.
Suns get their ring.
Dude, the Suns ain't doing nothing about anything.
They're too good, dude.
They're not that good.
If they ever
It's all about hitting their stride. They're going to hit their stride, and they're going to win the NBA championship.
If anyone can hit their stride,
That's
it's
not
Kevin
the playoffs.
Durant.
This isn't like the beginning of the season. Oh, they're going to hit their
Who
stride
won last night?
and win their series.
Who won
this
last
is the
night?
playoff.
Who won last night? And they
The
played
Suns.
terrible.
The Suns won last night.
Yeah, they played terrible in the first
That's
half.
one game. This is a 7-game series. They got to do it 4 times.
You better believe they will.
It ain't work like that. This is a playoff.
Suns. KD redeems himself. CP3 gets his first ring. Monty Williams does a great job.
I think, dude, I mean, obviously the easy choice is Phoenix. Like, Phoenix should win the series, and, like, they probably will.
Okay, then why are you picking the Clippers? They stink.
No, they don't stink.
They're not good without Paul George.
Dude, they're good without Paul George. You watched them. You can watch them last night and said they stunk.
No, the only good person.
They stole a game in Phoenix. They get to get 2 more games in L.A.
Westbrook literally had his best playoff game ever last night, and they still lost.
Yeah, but no one else brought anything else with them.
Kawhi.
That's it.
That's the only two people they have.
That's not true. They have players off the bench. They're deeper than Phoenix. Don't argue that.
They're deeper than Phoenix.
They have a better coach.
Phoenix has Kevin Durant.
Clippers have Kawhi. Can we have the Kawhi and Durant debate on the phone?
Yeah.
Kawhi is better than Kevin Durant. You heard it from me. I say that with my chest.
Kawhi is a better overall player.
Thank you.
Durant is one of the best scoring forwards we'll ever see.
Absolutely. Best of the
They're
last
both great.
15 years.
But
Best scorer since Kobe Bryant.
Kawhi was something else yesterday.
Dude, he's literally the best player in the world.
And I'm starting to think that
Kawhi Leonard, if he's 100% healthy and he's in the playoffs when it matters, is the best. That player right there is the best in the world.
But
Would you agree or disagree?
I would agree
Okay.
with those factors. However, if Durant wins a championship with Phoenix, he will usurp Kawhi in the record books, in the rankings of all-time greats.
Yeah, if that.
Well, Kevin Durant is ranked higher of all time than Kawhi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I agree with that, but I'm just saying, like, the best player in the series is Kawhi Leonard, is all I'm saying. The better team from top to bottom is the Clippers. The team with more, like, better pieces would be the Suns. Top-heavy Suns. The coaches probably even out. Who would you trust more in bigger games, Kawhi or Kevin?
Shoot. Kevin Durant. I've seen him make the coldest blood three in LeBron James' face.
Yeah, but we've also seen Chris Paul turn down big moments. Not very good. For some reason in the playoffs.
He
does.
Devin Booker's got big cojones.
It's Booker. Yeah, Booker is the reason that Phoenix is going to win the series. But
then why are you picking the Clippers?
Because
You're making it sound like that they're going to lose in the first round, so.
No, I'm taking the Clippers to win it all. I'm just being realistic about it because, like, Clippers aren't favorite.
Let me ask you a question. There's a roster of people, and then you put Kevin Durant as their best player. And then you take out Kevin Durant and you put in Kawhi Leonard. It's the same team, though. Who wins more games?
Which team?
Exactly. Which team?
No. Like like it could just
Let's
be.
see. Who's a very like the Hornets
Okay, Durant's on
without
the Hornets.
LaMelo.
You put Durant on there.
Yeah, they play a whole
Take
season.
him out, and you put Kawhi there for a
Yeah.
season. Who wins more games?
Yeah.
In a regular season?
Yes.
Durant, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Nets weren't that good with him.
Yeah, they were. They were a 3 seed.
Without Kyrie and them?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were a really good team.
Regular season's different. I'm talking about the playoffs.
All right, in the playoffs.
I'm saying Kawhi. Over anyone in NBA. Anyone.
Okay.
Playoff basketball is perfect for Kawhi Leonard. Everything slows down. He plays half-court offense. He's half-court defense. Kawhi sits out the regular season because he wants to just wait for the playoffs. That's why he doesn't play in the regular season.
Yeah, I think.
He sat out the whole regular season this year to wait for these moments. You can tell. He's got fresh legs. He's trying really hard. And that's just his game. It's been his game from the Spurs, Toronto. It's why they're always so good in the playoffs because Kawhi's at his best. And the Clippers are not a bad team. Like, yeah, they don't have a Devin Booker or Ayton, but they're deeper. They've got Norman Powell and guys off the bench. They can go 8 or 9 deep. Batum stinks. I agree.
He plays.
I know, but he stinks. I agree with that. But, I mean, like, Terrence Mann can have games. And once Paul George – if they can get past Phoenix somehow, some way, 6-7 games, get Paul George back against Denver, they're going to the finals. That's all I'm saying.
They got to get past Phoenix. I don't think they can.
And then I think it's interesting in the East, though. Because, like, Boston can easily win the finals. Milwaukee, once they get healthy, can win the finals. And Philly, like, who's going to come out of that is what I'm looking forward to. He's like Cleveland. Who knows? Like the way they looked yesterday.
I trust the Celtics the most.
Why though?
They went to the finals last year,
Right.
and they're 1 year older and 1 year more mature and 1 year more experienced. I don't trust Doc Rivers. I don't trust Joel Embiid. I don't trust James Harden.
But who was in the finals the year before? Was it Milwaukee?
Milwaukee won, right?
Yeah, so why wouldn't you trust? So you would trust Milwaukee last year and Boston made it.
I mean,
It's always a new team.
I have the Celtics winning in 7 against the Bucks. I think they played the Bucks really well in the regular season. Like I think they won every game, 4 games. They know how to.
I don't care about regular season.
It matters. They know how to play.
It matters
against
a
them.
little bit if you're in the same division. Like the Kings and the Lakers, I think would matter in a series. Like Cleveland, Milwaukee. But like, didn't Philadelphia do well against Boston?
I don't think so.
No one did. No one did well against Boston.
I think the Rockets.
Shout out
The
Bill
Rockets,
Simmons.
baby.
Hey, Bill Simmons, your team stinks.
Oh, they're gonna win it.
We're gonna steal Jaylen Brown, and then I'm gonna show you my.
You probably like that.
I know you would.
I wouldn't need normal.
What would Boston? How many games would Boston beat Philly in?
6.
Who's stopping Joel Embiid?
Al Horford. He's crafty, veteran. No, not one person can stop Joel Embiid. I think it's like their help defense
So
doubling.
their help defense.
They swarm, dude.
How many people are gonna take to guard Joel Embiid?
3 or 4.
How many shots does that leave Maxey, Harden, Tobias Harris?
None, because Marcus.
Too many.
Derek White is a freak.
Okay.
Marcus Smart is a freak. Throw Grant Williams at Joel Embiid. At least he'll try real hard.
No, that's not gonna happen.
I mean, he's gonna get dominated, but it's like
It's
you can foul
Horford,
him.
Robert Williams. Like no one. They don't have it. There's no one there. They
Yeah,
still
but
have Luke Cornett.
no one's been able to guard Joel Embiid, but the Sixers have never made the finals. He's not
He just
that
won
guy.
an MVP.
He's not that guy. He's not
He's better now than he's ever been.
He's not barbecue chicken Shaq. He's not
Yeah,
Sean
he
Bradley.
is.
He's closer to Sean Bradley than he is Shaq.
No, he's closer to Shaq than Sean Bradley.
Yeah.
Ask Shaq.
Yeah, he is. But he's not. I mean, he hasn't done nothing.
I don't
Doc
know.
Rivers is a bad coach to me in the playoffs.
It doesn't matter.
When the pressure's high, his butt clenches.
It's not gonna. For some reason, I feel like it's not gonna matter when you have a Joel Embiid.
They've had him for how long?
Dude, he's better now than he's ever been. Do you understand? He's just won the MVP.
Okay.
I think Milwaukee has a chance.
He
because
should have
they-
won the MVP last year. He's
Oh,
putting up the same stats.
listen. Listen, another year together with Harden, another year together with the team. Milwaukee has a better chance because they have a Brook Lopez. They have a 7-footer who's really good at defense. Boston doesn't have that.
It
So
doesn't matter.
So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to double, triple team down low, which has been the reason the Sixers are the way they are. Teams bring it down. You have Harden, Tobias Harris, Maxey. Why do you think Maxey's been going off? Because there's no one within 15 feet when he shoots.
Boston is built to do that.
They're built better to do it. It'll be a better series.
They're built to do that. They don't have any problem doing that. They
Doing what?
swarm, dude. Derek White is their X
You
factor.
can
and he's a
swarm,
freak.
but if you swarm in the paint and you kick it out, you're going to
You
get a
don't
hand
have
up?
to triple team him, just double team him.
With who?
2 guys. He's not going to take on 2 guys.
But that leaves one guy open.
Swarm. That's what I'm saying. They'll get out to whoever.
I don't know. I have an issue.
Did you see what they did to Trae Young?
Who?
They switched his
Boston?
split. He was trying to get a certain matchup,
Right.
and they switch it right before so he'd get
Mhm.
Marcus Smart. It was crazy. While he's dribbling up the court,
They would switch and then they would go
Switch-
the pick and roll.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. If they're thinking like that,
No, I've been watching that. Another team would do that. The Suns were doing it last night with Chris Paul. It's it's good basketball. But what I'm saying is it's different when you have a Shaq type player down low.
and the Clippers are playing drop coverage, which isn't going to work against the Suns. They're just going to get mid-range all day.
Yeah, that's the problem. But I mean, if that's what the only thing you're gonna allow, but you can't allow nothing else to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like that's all Chris Paul Booker, Ayton, and KD are all just mid-range gamers.
For the Suns, it's definitely a risk taking them because they haven't played together a lot.
The Suns ain't winning at all.
But
I'm telling you that right now.
Kevin Durant is the one player, superstar player, that can actually just play ball. He doesn't need a certain this or that. He can play ball.
But wouldn't you say the same, though, about, like, the bigs, like Jokic and
Jokic
Embiid?
can play anywhere, yeah. I don't know.
They get their own. They don't need anything else.
I know, but I feel like
LeBron, AD.
Embiid is a little bit of a chemistry dude.
Is LeBron like that?
No, you put shooters around him.
Is Steph?
Used to put shooters around him until he has Austin Reeves.
So you're saying, like, the system teams aren't going to be that good?
I don't know about that. I was just saying Kevin Durant's the only one that, like, you can just...
Steph?
He could be... Like, if it was a different superstar on the Suns, it'd be more difficult.
I think Kawhi on the Suns, they'd be better.
I don't know.
I mean,
You have to get used to the way that Kawhi plays.
I mean, it would be the Kawhi show. It would have
Devin
to be,
Booker's
right?
better than Kawhi.
At what?
Shooting?
Is he?
Yeah, he's pure, dude. It's crazy.
I don't think he's better at anything than Kawhi.
Shooting.
Maybe not even facilitate. I take...
His form.
I don't know. Kawhi just got paused, dude. It's different.
Dude, it's weird seeing his hands on TV.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, we'll be back and we'll see that the Clippers lost in the first round and the 76ers lost in the second round.
I also think, like, Golden State was probably going to lose to the Kings.
I think Bill Simmons actually jinxed him today.
Why?
Because he said, like, there's the Kings, you know how embarrassing it would be if they lost this series? Because everything's, like, put on a silver platter for them.
Mm-hmm.
And they haven't even shot that good. And the other guy was like, you just jinxed the Kings, dude. They're going to lose the series.
I'd be shocked.
I'd actually put Draymond up for sale.
What do you mean?
Sell his shoes.
I don't know. The Kings just don't feel right to me.
You think they're a fluke still?
I do.
It's impossible, man.
How? The Golden State just hasn't hit their stride yet.
They ain't got a stride, dude. It's Steph
Stupid. I
Curry and
hate that.
Klay Thompson.
That's
dog.
the worst, like, laziest basketball term that people use.
It's true.
No, it's not.
You pick the hottest teams at the playoff time.
Like who?
The Kings. The Suns were undefeated going into the playoffs.
What about Minnesota?
Rudy Gobert punched someone right before the season, so you know they're going to get swept.
Dude, it wasn't his fault, dude.
Literally no one likes Rudy Gobert.
That's fine. No one has
It's
to
the
like him.
worst trade in NBA history.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're stuck with that Frenchman.
The Nets had it rough for a while.
I would take 12-year-old Victor Wembanyama over Rudy Gobert.
12-year-old?
Yeah.
No.
And keep him on my team for as long as I had Gobert until he grows of age.
It's not like he's, like, bad at basketball.
He's bad at basketball.
He's just maybe not a good teammate.
He's just a tall human. That's it.
I mean,
he has
like,
really, really long
goes
arms.
a long way in basketball.
Yeah, I mean, he makes millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars.
I mean, there's not a lot of people, if I needed someone to guard their best center, not a lot of people I would put it ahead of Gobert if I needed one. There's not like 5 guys I would put over him.
Yeah, but it's just defense.
What do you mean? That's half of the game.
I know, but
It's
I
not
don't
all
even
offense.
know
I
if he'd
hate
do
the
it.
all offense thing. It's dumb.
he wouldn't even do that good of a job.
Yeah, he would.
He'd get a couple blocks. He's not going to change the outcome of a game.
I think he could do a good job if I needed him to.
What's that black one?
Longhorns.
Give it to me.
Okay.
Oh, dude. TJ Ford.
TJ Hushman's out of
DJ Augustine.
Puna Ford.
Booby Miles. Wait, what's his name? Booby Gibson.
Daniel Gibson.
Booby.
Daniel?
No, his name's Booby.
Daniel Gibson?
But they call him Booby Gibson.
Oh, yeah, Daniel.
Yeah. Dink.
Clippers in 6.
Suns in 7, but it's gonna be a great series.
You don't think there's a chance the Clippers can win?
There's a chance.
Wouldn't that
But-
be cool?
It's just hard for me without Paul George.
But how good would the Clippers be if they had Paul George? Wouldn't they be really good?
Yeah, it would be. I wouldn't be talking like this right now.
Yeah, you're talking real regular.
I'm talking real reckless, like Lil Wayne in '02.
Nah, you're not. I think I'm the one talking reckless. But I had to stick by my guns.
No, you're talking senseless.
I had to stick by my guns, dude. I couldn't switch.
I got a little mouse staring at me stir fry. If he's good, I'll give him a carrot, dog.
Tell you what, man. Broncos trade up into the first round.
For who?
I can't tell you on the air.
Come on, dude, please.
I can't, dude.
I can't think of anyone.
Yeah, you could. If you thought about it.
Bajan?
Ooh, ooh,
We already have.
ooh.
Javonte Williams is like the second rated behind Bajan Williams
I
since
don't.
2019.
Like, I don't really know what they really need. Linebacker.
Linebacker,
That's
I
really
mean,
about
I'm-
it. Maybe another corner.
offensive line, like a center. Center, Lloyd Cushenberry stinks.
Couldn't like Quinn Miners play center or something?
Yeah, but isn't he guard?
Ben Powers.
I don't know.
Who's y'all's other guard? Quinn Miners. Yeah, I guess a center.
Center.
John Michael Schmitz.
People really hate Cushenberry.
Well,
Like bad.
he's not. I mean, yeah, he's.
He is really bad, isn't he?
I don't really hear nothing for him.
How does a center get a false start? You're hiking the ball.
I got his fingers up and wet.
Russell Wilson also says he doesn't like to put his hands under his behind.
We were talking about today on the Bronco thing is trading for Trey Lance. What would you think? What are your opinions on that?
Yeah, but him sit behind Russell Wilson. Not start.
But isn't Russell signed for like 6 years?
I don't think it's 6, is it?
Or I guess
Like
what,
five?
5 now? Or 4
4?
now?
Yeah.
So, I mean, what?
I mean, eventually you're going to have to eat it. If he
But-
stinks,
So
you
you're
gotta,
just going to sit Trey Lance for like the next 2 or 3 years? For what?
you have to give. I'm giving Russell another chance.
I know, but why would.
Sean Payton's going to fix him.
I don't understand why they would trade for Trey Lance.
What if Russell doesn't work out? Jared Stidham?
And then you address it then.
I think I like Jared Stidham, though. I'm comfortable with him as a backup.
Oh, you
I
mean
always-
this year?
Yeah.
Oh, Russ was playing this year all the way through.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying, like, I like Jared Stidham. I think he's good.
You actually think so?
He's a better backup than Brett Ripon
Oh, yeah, that's a given.
and Josh Johnson
That's a given.
and Kendall Hinton.
So you're saying you're okay with them if they have to bench Russell?
You're going to have to, but you're going to have to pull the plug at, like, week 8.
Well, and then what do you do with him after that? You can't really use him.
Cut him. Pay it, man. You got to. We got Walmart money.
You think there's a higher chance of that happening than it actually working out?
I'm torn, dude. It's 50-50.
It's so interesting.
I'm not so. I mean, I believe in Sean Payton, but I don't know.
You're not sold on Russell.
Yeah, I've seen it. He wrecked a golf cart.
No, he was in the passenger seat.
Did he hit it?
I don't know what the story is, but it's just because it's Russell Wilson.
He's dumb.
I'm calling a bounce back from Russell Wilson. I think he looks better next year.
5,000 yards.
No, he's not that guy. I just wish he still ran more. He doesn't really run anymore. Maybe if Sean Payton will make him run. Like we see a little bit of vintage Russell Wilson out there, like free flowing, big play, you know?
Who is the Broncos' Taysom Hill?
Taysom Hill.
They're gonna bring him in.
Yeah.
What about Chris Mernhertz?
No, it's Dolchich.
He's not gonna throw the football.
Oh, no, they're not going to have one of those.
Yeah, Sean Payton always does.
No, who was it before? Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill.
Yeah, who was it before that? Marcus Colston?
Jimmy Graham.
Jameis Winston? Dolchich?
Yes.
I don't know.
What's the time?
I'm ready.
I'm ready, man.
Go ahead. Yep.
Thank
Turn
you.
it up, bud.
Hey, be quiet. Thank you for listening to another episode of Forget What You Heard. Love you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace, love, and happiness.
Lawrence Tynes.